Hiya, welcome back to the channel. My name's Paul, and if you're new here, I'm a total Warhammer beginner, and in these videos I thought it'd just be fun to document my journey into the hobby, diving headfirst into hyperfixation, obsession, and all things Warhammer. You can see the hobby's taken hold already. I've got A2 Space Marine print, I bought a second box set, and more paints than I can handle. So in the last video we painted Brian here, and it looks pretty good. I think it looks alright for my first ever Terminator. I like him, he's cool. He's a little bit flat though, there's not too much detail in him. But what I've done, and the main focus of this video, is I've gone out and actually bought 5 more paints. So I've got Contrast Silicon Grey, I've got Night Lord's Blue, some Nuln oil, and I've also got some Calgar. I've got some Calgar Blue. Yeah, the main focus is to use these 4 paints to build up our next Terminator, to give him a lot more shading, a lot more recessed shade, a lot more depth, and a lot more detail, and hopefully some edge highlighting that doesn't look like ours. That's not all I've done since my last video though. I've actually been quite busy. I've built up all 4 of the Terminators, everything from a base Terminator that's just got like a gun and a fist, all the way up to this captain with like this cool sword that I was obsessed with the second I saw it, and this guy has got like massive rockets, which is terrifying. So yeah, in this video we're going to paint this Marine here. I don't know what to call him. What should we call him? Frank. Frank the Terminator. So yeah, in this video we're going to paint Frank. We're going to go through some of the Space Marine chapters as well when I paint, learn about them, see which ones sound cool, and then maybe in the future after this one we can stop painting Macragge Blue Ultramarines, maybe get some new paints and play around with some other colours. So yeah, let's get stuck in. Here they are, the rest of the squad, all primed up and ready to go. On the back we've got the minigun. I'm going to try painting this detached from the rest, just to see how much of a difference it makes. So to get these off the cartons. Perfect, let's slide this one out of the way. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the minigun. And we need our wet palette, need our paints, and some brushes. Alright, let's get started, shall we? Cool, we'll start off with the base of lead belcher on the metallic parts. Oh, that's nice. That little bit in the middle is cool. What else? A little bit behind it? Okay. I also decided it's probably a time for me to pick a chapter. While filming this, I'm listening to every single Warhammer Space Marine Legion Explained by More Lore. It looks like it just goes into every single chapter. Dark Angels, the Emperor's Children, the Iron Warriors. Yeah, so I'm going to listen to this, see if we can pick out a chapter we like. I'll probably listen to all these and maybe speak about the ones I like the most and maybe pick one. Like I've mentioned before, I don't really have any intention of playing the game at the minute. I'm just really enjoying painting the minis, it's real fun. So I don't feel the need to be tied to one paint scheme or one chapter, essentially. I will just try out anything because that's what I'm here to do at the minute, just paint and have fun. Alright, so we're up to the Iron Legion, and these boys sound sick. I like the idea that they're just like unstoppable siege machines. Their armour looks absolutely massive, like units. Not too keen on the betrayal and the heresy, but we'll carry on with the video and see where we get at. But so far the Iron Legion sound pretty cool. I'm noticing a theme here that every time a cool chapter or a cool legion gets mentioned, it ends with and they were part of the heresy and betrayed the Emperor. Like every time I like the idea of a legion or something that seems cool, it turns out that legion betrayed everyone. The culprit this time is the 8th Legion, the Night Lords. I was like, these guys seem kind of cool, like terror tactics, kind of like flailing people, going in the night, blasting out the sounds of people dying to scare people and keep the peasants in line, but it always comes back to heresy. Oh well, there's 12 more to go. Let's see what else we got. Space Wolves sound kind of cool though. Okay, Blood Angels sound cool. Halfway through the explanation. How long until they succumb to heresy do we think? Can't wait. Unreal, you telling me the Blood Angels didn't actually take part in the heresy and betray everyone? Maybe that's who we picked just based on process of elimination. The Iron Hands use weapons to advance onto an enemy until they just simply are no more. So Iron Hands seem pretty sweet. It sounds similar to, what was it, the Iron Warriors, but like, not traitors, I hope, please. It looks like all the silver done on the gun, looking all shiny and metallic and awesome. I need to paint the rest of the areas black, that skull needs to be gold, and then the ammo needs to be gold as well I think, and there's like a red dot on the eye. So I guess we'll leave this to dry for 5-10 minutes and then come back and do the black. So the silver's all dried, it's looking pretty cool. Just going to go over the undercoat with some Abaddon black, just to smooth it all out. so it's all dried. I've applied some Abaddon black to some of the black areas, and I've also just seen on the tutorial the whole back of this area is meant to be silver. All of this. So let's plaster that silver while we try and pick a Space Marine chapter. So an update on the chapters. The death cards seem pretty cool. I understand they're like, you know, they're chaos, but I like all the big green and the bloated and that sort of demonic aspect. This seems pretty sick. I think ultimately I'll probably just look at the figures and see which ones I like the look of. Same with the colour schemes. But yeah, is it the Iron Fists? I can't remember. The Iron Hands, yeah, the Iron Hands seem pretty cool. So the Iron Hands and the Death Guard. Let's see what the 16th Legion are there. Yeah, my only criticism at the minute is it's just a big block of silver and black. Like, I'm hoping maybe once I add the gold, maybe I might even paint the blue just to add some more to it. Let me pause this video. I've listened to the Raven Guard in a minute. I've just added some blue to the hands and the arm, just so I can see where the gun ends and the armour begins. So I guess now we can put some oil on it and see how this non-oil is. So far I've only used the Agrax Earth shade, so I'm keen to see how the different shade comes out. This is the one that most people just sort of talk about in videos. But yeah, a little bit behind the scenes. I did all this yesterday. My original plan for this video was, I actually wasn't going to originally just do one Terminator because I thought doing one at a time would take forever and be really boring. This video I was going to focus on the weapons, that's why I'm doing the gun first. I was going to do like just the minigun and then the rocket launcher. Yeah, doing this gun first has kind of thrown me off my like flow. I don't know, I felt really weird about it, so I got a bit in my own head yesterday. So that's why I kind of stopped, left it today and come back. But it was also cool to try out this new gun. I mentioned in the first video, I absolutely loved doing the gun, all the silver and the black and the details, and it was so much fun, which is kind of why I started with this. Actually, I should probably walk this down really, shouldn't I, a little bit. As far as painting this separate from the rest though, like, it does feel easier. Like, I couldn't imagine painting something this size while it's attached to the Marine. Like, trying to get all these bits around the back would be a nightmare. I do think I need to get some kind of like way to hold it, like on a stick or something. I see people blue tacking it to a stick, so I might try that in the future. But yeah, this is the first time I've used non-oil, so I'm keen just to lather it on, maybe even use a little bit too much just to see how it looks and learn that way. Yeah, but anyway, back onto the chapters. So I think I've looked at all the different chapters now, and I've kind of got like an idea of what ones I like and don't like, and for what reasons. So I think in terms of lore, the Iron Hands are cool. I really like the lore of the Iron Hands, just like the flesh is weak, constantly upgrading, being like siege monsters. So I think if I had to like associate with one, it'd probably be that. But in terms of like the models, I really like the look of the, is it the Death Guard? Or the Plague Marines, the ones that fell to Nurgle, and now I've got like all deformed bodies. They look really cool. I really like the models of those, so I might pick up some of them in the future. Also, I think that's all the oil done. We'll put that to one side and let it dry and see where we're at later. And then in terms of colour schemes, I really like the black and the silver. It's like some of the Iron Hands look really cool because they're like I mentioned, that black and silver, but some of them look a bit old and rusty because I guess they're part of like being, like mechanical. So I'm not a massive fan of that, but I do like, is it the Death Watch? Actually, let me just Google the names so I can stop butchering them. Yes, I like the Death Guard models, look really cool. Like the Plague Marines or the stuff oozing out of them, that looks sick. And then, yeah, I like the black and the silver of the Death Watch. Yeah, of course, while this is drying, we'll just put a base layer of Macragge Blue on this boy. Cool, so that first layer is dried, another layer of Macragge Blue. Sweet, so that's the second layer done. It's looking pretty good. I think I'll leave it there. So what's next is the black. So let's grab some Abaddon. I don't know why, but I feel like this is like an absolute mess already. I don't know what I've done. I feel probably messy. Don't know if it's the base layer or the black or what. So the next step in the video is the face with the Corax white. A few people have mentioned that Corax is actually like one of the worst whites, and there's like a titanium kind of white I should pick up, so I might look into getting that, because yeah, this pot's almost run out. I guess while the face is drying, actually, I can do some of the insignias. I know it's this the Warhammer tutorial does say use Celestra Grey, but I don't actually have any greys. That's okay, we'll just do some light layers. I think the main thing with these insignias on the side is to put the thinnest layer imaginable on. The white's pretty dry now, so we can review how the first coat went. We'll start with the face. It's looking okay. Quite a heavy coat, like there's still a lot of the blue seeping through, so we're doing another really thin coat. But a lot of the detail's still there, and it's looking okay. Move on to the shoulders. First layer's looking okay. It's a little bit messy, but it's only the first layer, and that one's okay. The knee, however, God, it's awful. Like, I butchered this in the last one. But I guess if we just slap on another thin layer and see what happens. I'm just trying to really take my time and not rush it at all. Because obviously I'm filming the whole process, I get to, when I upload all the footage into the editing software, it's cool to see how long I've actually spent on the Mini. Like, I think last time there was about 5 hours worth of footage to edit down, so it'd be interesting to see if I really purposely take my time on this, how much longer it'll be. Yeah, this one's just a bit of a mess. Oh, this is awful. It's all clumped up, but that's okay. That's whatever, isn't it? You live and you learn. At least we've got something to work on. Sweet, so I'm pretty sure that's all the white done. Cool, so now my favourite part of these models, the little parchment. I'll just chuck some calf flesh on there. Oh, that's okay. I think it's a bit too watery, so it needs to dry, but let's move on to the eyes, the scariest part. Oh yeah, look at that, that's cool. Not too bad, eh? Sweet, so next up is the metallics. So we need to set up some lead belcher for his mouth, I believe. The back vents, this cable on the back of him. Oh, just for today's music of choice as well. Going for Lush Forest of Caliban, my resting place. A nice chill, relaxing music today. Speaking of the silver, I definitely think my next marine be either like an Iron Hand, or I really like the look of that like black, white and silver aesthetic, just to spice it up, because I like the Space Marine Macragge blue, it's quite cool, but this is my 5th one now and I kind of want to do something new. Oh, okay, that's quite nice, I like that. Like the little targeting system, that's sick. Cool, so we get to open up a new paint. I went and brought Retributor armor for this chest just because Balthazar was a bit darker, so I thought I want to go for a more brighter, shinier gold. So that way I have 2 different shades of gold for different things, so that'll be fun. Well, the paints are all so organised and in line at the start of the video, now they're just everywhere as I'm using them. Now I always mess this up and get it everywhere, so let's see if we can do a decent job today. Sweet, it's coming together. The crest on the chest is one of my favourite parts on these models. Just adds so much. Sweet, so we're right now. We've done a lot of the tidying up. Most of the base layers, like the gold, the whites, the silvers, the base layers. In terms of like the bulk of the work, we're pretty much done. So I'm going to leave all this to dry, and then we're going to get to the meat of the video, which will be applying all these contrasts and highlights and stuff and really butcher them. So in terms of shades, I've actually used the Nuln oil on the gun already, just because I wanted to see the difference between the Nuln oil and the Agrax Earthshade, because it's the only other one I've used before. And everyone mentions Nuln oil for weapons, so I thought I'd just chuck it on there. This tutorial does mention to use Basilicanum Grey on the silver, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Nuln oil on the gun and use the Basilicanum on the cable back here, the back bits, and maybe some of the mouth guard, just that way I can see what the difference is between the 2 shades just by looking at the model. Cool, and I'm also going to apply some more of the Basilicanum Grey on these things here. See if we can salvage some of this one down here with it. You know what, that's kind of saved it a little bit, you know? That looks loads better. I don't know if it's meant to like sit in the recesses and all the gaps to like bring out the detail, but that's kind of looks like what it's done. I completely forgot also I need to put some Agrax Earthshade on the chest, the red, and then some on the gun, so let's do that now. It's crazy because when I first started painting, I absolutely hated the shade. I hated using it. I thought it ruined the Mini. Now that I've kind of gotten used to how it works, when to use it, I actually think it's one of my favourite parts. It really adds like lots of depth and like detail to the Mini. Hopefully once it, oh, that left eye is, oh no, hopefully once it dries, it won't be as bad. I mean, we can always just go over it and tidy it up, can't we? But now let's use a little bit on the gun casing. Like I said, we use a lot of non-oil on here, and it actually looks really cool. It has a lot of like darkness, like all the gaps and stuff. Tiny little bit of Agrax Earth shade on the parchment, and I think that's all of the shade done. So we've used the Basilicanum Grey on the white insignias on the shoulders and the metal parts on the Terminator. Then we've used Agrax Earthshade on the crest, the eyes, this thing up here, and the parchment. And then we've used null oil on the gun. It's a bit wishy-washy, but I kind of want to see how different each three of the shades look on the finished product. That's mostly for my learning. So yeah, we'll let all this dry off, and then once it's dry, we can actually get to the most exciting part, which will be using this contrast Basilicanum Grey to fill in all the details in the armour. That's what I'm most looking forward to, like all these little cracks in the top and down in his legs. Quite a lot of time has passed, so hopefully everything should be dry. Ignore the fact that one eye is red and one eye is white. I put way too much shade on the eye and it started leaking out, so I tried to tidy it up and it just got a mess. So I've covered this in white. I'm going to redo the red. Right, we'll do it now. Why not? Just quickly touch it up, see if we can fix it quickly. Oh my god, I made it worse. This brush was way too thick. Oh no. Right, well let's come back to that later. In a minute. It's yeah, that's a problem for later. Sweet. So we've got our Basilicanum Grey. We're going to try and use this as sort of a contrast paint. I think that's what it's called. Oh, not a contrast, sorry, a recess shade. So we're going to try and put it in between all these little cracks and gaps and see what we can do there. So let's try and get a little bit on the brush. All right. I don't know if this brush is too big, but we'll try for now and then see. Yeah, this brush is way too big, I think. Let's try and go down to a smaller one. Oh no, I proper fucked this up on top. Oh no. So let's go from... Let's carry on with the top and see how it goes. Oh, okay, I think I've lathered this on a bit too much on the top here. Alright, I think I'm going to leave the contrast paint there for now. While that's drying, let's try and salvage some of this eye, shall we? Is there such a thing as a one-eyed Terminator? Because I think... Oh, I'm just rubbing paint off. Oh my god. I think at this point it might just have to be one, because I've just mangled this right eye so much that... I think this is definitely my first big fuck up. Other than that, it's looking pretty cool. I like the insignia, I like some of the contrast paint I haven't put on super clean, like here it's leaked out on that panel. I really like it on the back here. Some of the legs looks cool. Right, so let's grab some blue, tidy up that bit on top. I quite like the recess shades. It does add some sort of like depth to it. It kind of brings out the like the panellings and stuff a bit more. It's definitely something to work on. Alright, last chance. If this one goes shit, I'm just going to leave the eye. Oh my god, it's split. Right, yeah, well, I'm just going to accept the fact that this guy's eyes are fucked. Let's just look at him from this side at all times. Every picture. This guy definitely has a good side. I think it's time to finally stop putting it off. Start playing the boss music. And there we go. I've tried it in the last 3 videos and see if I can finally conquer edge highlighting. Yeah, I guess the biggest difference this time is I've actually got some Calgar blue, whereas in the past I was just adding some Corax white to the Macragge, which was not making a good shade at all. Oh, that's a nice creamy colour, that. Right, I guess here goes nothing. I feel like I'm not talking at all during this. I'm trying so hard to focus. I feel like it's going a lot better than normal. I don't know if it's me just lying to myself or what, but I feel like it's not going as bad. I'm going to try and go around the fist now, but oh, there's a lot of paint on that brush, so... Oh, you know what, that's not too bad. Kind of think it was alright on the fist. So I think what my plan is, I'm going to glue this gun onto the arm, do a sweep over, see what needs touching up, and then chuck them under the mug. I put the gun on, I set up the studio ready to film like the end look, but I actually remembered that there's the black and white checkered pattern that you can do on their hand. So you know what, it's probably going to come out to be an absolute mess, but I'm going to try just to add a little bit some extra to him. So I've loaded up the brush with some Corax white, let's see how much we can ruin this poor hand. Cool, so we mangled the silver nubs on it, but we can repaint over those once we're done. That's the first layer, let's wait for that to dry and slap on another. So there's the white fist looking okay. One thing I'm definitely learning is patience. Like I mentioned in the last video, I feel like I'm trying to rush through the figures. But this thing, I think I'm on like my third day. I'm going to include the gun, the base layer, and all that, everything else. So this is day 3, but even down to like minute by minute, like I feel like I probably mangled the brushes. See if I can find the brushes I've got. So I'm keen to get some good brushes and actually look after them and really care for them, because I bought these Game Master ones and I've kind of butchered them. So this is going to be a bit scary, but just going to paint a grid, I guess. Right, so we've got a grid. Let's see if we can fill in some of these squares. This is going to be an absolute state. You know what? That's not as arse I thought it was going to be. At distance, doesn't even look that bad. I mean, when you get close up, it's ooh. I was talk of adding some like scratches of Macragge blue on the white, so I might try that as well. But in terms of like the actual what we've got, the grid and the squares, I feel like the more I poke it, the worse it's going to get, like this guy's eye. Oh, that looks like arse. Okay, that just looks awful. Let's try it one more time. It looks okay, but I feel like this is going to make it look worse overall if I keep jabbing at it. Like I mentioned, it looks okay. I don't want to actually just keep poking at it. For my first ever attempt, that's not bad. Right, although I've kind of spoiled the reveal a little bit, let's chuck this guy under and have a closer look. I don't know why I put him under the mug, because you've just seen me do the arms, but oh, look at him. Look how cool he looks. Every time I do a new one, I reveal it. I'm like, oh, this is my favourite, this is my best, I like it, it's so cool. Let's chuck him on the podium so I can spin him around a bit more. Sweet, so there he is. Yeah, like I said, is it normal for every time you paint a new mini, like, this is my favourite, I love this one? Ignoring the obvious glaring mistake that is this right eye. Or is it the left eye? Here's his left eye, I guess. I absolutely love him, he's so good, there's so much to him. Like, there's a lot to break down, I guess. Well, I guess the main goal of this video was the contrast paints and the recess shading. I think overall it's done quite good. Like in some of the places on like on his back leg here, and the back panel up, the recess shades were really good. I don't know if the lighting's a bit ass though. Yeah, I don't know if that's any better. Sorry, I'm trying out some new settings. Yeah, so on the back of the little like divots in the armor where the recess shade's gone, it looks cool. I like it. It's a little bit messy on the top. But that's okay. That's where I started doing it. So like I wasn't really sure 100% how much to apply. But yeah, in terms of the recess shade, it's quite good. The edge highlighting as well. I don't know why I'm so hyper fixated on it and obsessed with the idea of edge highlighting. I think it's because when I saw someone do it for the first time, I thought it looked so cool. But it's a little bit better this time, like especially on the back here, this bit. I like the yeah, I definitely like the Liberator armor. Yeah, if you compare the chest, so this is Balthazar gold and this is Retributor armor on the chest, it's a lot brighter and I quite like it. It's very like bold and colourful. So going to the gun, yeah, the oil definitely added loads to it. I only put one shade on at first, and to be honest, I couldn't really tell the difference between having the one shade and no shade. Having the one layer and no layer, I couldn't really tell the difference if I'm honest. So I put a second layer on and I feel like it's definitely brought out some of the detail, like in between all these little divots, as like, it gets a bit darker and a bit shaded and a bit worn. So it looks really good. I absolutely love this minigun. It's so cool. Like now that I put the oil on, it looks really good. Like I said, at first when it was just a big block of black and silver, I was a bit like demoralised. I was a bit like, yeah, it looks kind of rubbish. But yeah, it's absolutely sick. It's so like big and beefy and so cool. Yeah, this thing as well. I'm quite surprised how good this turned out. I didn't paint update it with the silver. I was meant to put these little like dot silver. I completely forgot. I wonder if I can do that now quickly, actually. All right, let's pretend you didn't see that. I won't tell anyone if you don't. Right, yeah, so back to this hand. Yeah, I'm so impressed how this turned out. I was kind of hesitant to do it because I thought it looked like arse, because it's all freehand and my freehand to work isn't that good. But honestly, it's okay. I feel like it definitely adds something to the model, because before it was just a big block of blue and gold with this like massive gun. Now it adds something to the left side and the right side, like they've both got some cool detail. It's so much better than the previous one as well. Like, I still love my first ever Terminator. Oh, as well, what was it? The Basilicanum Grey on the, I don't know what this is, the insignia, the shoulder pad? Oh, it's so much better, isn't it? Like, I used Agrax Surfshade for this one, and it's come out a little bit dirty, whereas this one's a lot cleaner. I'm still trying to work on these knees. These ones aren't that good, but the shoulder looks mint. Look how cool that looks. Look at that. I absolutely love that. That's so cool. I feel like all the detail really comes out. The paint's sitting it well. The Basilicanum Grey was a good shout. Man, I love it. I couldn't be happier. Is it, when do you start hating them? Like, when do you start painting something and be like, this is awful, I hate it, never look at it? Because so far, every time I paint something, I'm just in love with it, and I think it's the best thing ever. Is it just like the honeymoon phase? Look at that, though. We're building up a proper little squad now. Oh, also, sorry, I forgot to mention, just with the base, I add some Agrax Earthshade to the base to bring out some detail, and it doesn't mint it. I didn't put any on the back just so I could see the difference between the two. I don't know if it's going to be able to get a good camera shot of it. There we go, look at that. Yeah, so I put some Agrax Earthshade on the front and left the back empty just so I can see the difference, and it looks so much better. It looks really cool. But yeah, we've built up a proper little squad now. Look at this. Man, I love them all. They're so good. Even like, it feels weird to say, but this guy's eye is an absolute mess, but I do love it because it's like, it is my first real cock-up and I learned a lot from it. And I kind of want to leave it there. There we go, we're all done. Where is he? There he is. I can't get him on his little thing. Ah, there he is, all done. Man, I love him so much. I say it every time. Every single time I paint one, I'm like, this is my favourite, I love it. But I still like the previous ones I've done. I feel like I'm getting a proper little squad now. They're looking good. Again, the weapon was my favourite part. It was so much fun to do. I'm really happy with the arm thing as well, especially as it was like a last minute detail I was going to add. I definitely noticed I took a lot more time on this one. I think 3 days in total. I did the gun one evening. I did most of the body a one day, like a solid long session. And then I did some like touch-ups in the hand and some other little bits today. Really taking my time on each individual part definitely helped. But yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed with the recess shade, and I love that. This little thing on the hand, again, I've said it so many times, but it's my favourite. It's so cool. It adds something extra to the model. But where do we go from here? Where are they? So I've got 3 more Terminators left. So we've got 3 more Terminators left. We've got the Captain, just a random Terminator, and this rocket launcher guy who God knows what I'm even going to do with that. That's overwhelming me. But I think I definitely, for my next model, I really want to do a different colour scheme. I'm loving the Macragge blue, and I have just bought a whole bunch of highlights and contrast paints for ultramarines. So I think the next one I'm going to do is either an Iron Hands or a Death Watch, some kind of black or silver. I've seen some cool tutorials. Yeah, so takeaways for this. Look after my brushes, definitely. I'm definitely improving on the edge highlighting, I think. We're getting there, and we are going to get there. But yeah, I think so. We've got 2 that I definitely want to paint next. I've got this is the regular Terminator guy who's just got a gun and a power fist. I think I'm going to make him Iron Hands or Death Watch, or like I mentioned, like the black and the silver. And I've got this Captain guy that I kind of want to go all out on. I saw a really good Duncan Rhodes video about how to paint swords, so I want to try some of those techniques on this guy. Yeah, so next video we'll try a Death Watch or an Iron Hands, a different colour scheme on this guy. And then I think I'm going to move at some point also paint this Captain with all of his little bells and whistles and details and really give it like a good go. And try and make it like my best one yet. Well, I say that every single time I paint one, I feel like it's my best one, which I guess is a good. I guess it's a good sign, showing like improvement. Because I've said it 100 times, but I love this guy so much. The fist is so good, and the gun. Like looking at the minigun, I knew I was going to enjoy it. When I started it, I felt really disheartened because it was just a big block of like 2 colours, and I was like, oh, it's not as fun as I wanted it to be. After applying loads of null oil in the right places and I'm putting it on the marine, it looks so cool. I love it. It's my favourite. But yeah, thanks for watching. Chuck us a like and subscribe, and then tune in next time when we try some different colours. We'll try a different scheme. Cool. Thank you.